Hey friends, welcome to my channel Photographic Memory. Today's video is about the inferior alveolar nerve neurectomy by Jinwala's technique, which is used as a surgical technique in trigeminal neuralgia patients. So what is trigeminal neuralgia? Trigeminal neuralgia is spasmodic, sudden, painless, involuntary muscular contraction, especially involving the facial muscles. So according to the International Association for the Study of Pain, they defined trigeminal neuralgia as a sudden, usually unilateral, severe, brief, stabbing, recurrent pain in the distribution of one or more branches of the fifth cranial nerve. Now, mostly maxillary and mandibular branches are involved, but in rarer cases, even ophthalmic branches involved. Now, the management of trigeminal neuralgia can be categorized into medical care or any surgical management. In medical care, we have palliative treatment and pharmacological drug therapy. Now, in pharmacological drug therapy, the most important ones which give a relative symptomatic relief is carbamazepine and phenytoin. In surgical management, basically we have the peripheral surgeries which are done very close to the area where the trigger zones are located. This may have cryotherapy, alcohol blocks, lasers, neurectomy, and even vascular decompressions. Then we have ganglion procedures, then even open procedures. Now, neurectomy comes under open procedures. Okay. Now, what is neurectomy? Neurectomy is basically the excision of a section of a nerve for the relief of neuralgia, especially that of a fifth cranial nerve. Okay, so specific objectives of peripheral neurectomy are to eliminate as much as possible of the affected nerve branch and also to attempt to block its regeneration. So these neurectomies are usually performed through an incision made at the eyebrow, that is the supraorbital nerve, or it can be intraorally through infraorbital nerve or inferior alveolar nerves, lingual nerves, and so. The branches are also avulsed out over here. This inferior alveolar nerve neurectomy can be treated through two approaches: extraoral approach and intraoral approach. Okay, so Jinwala used intraoral approach. So let's start with the procedure then. So the first step for this procedure is we start an incision below the coronoid process downwards and medially on the anterior border of the ascending ramus until we reach the body of the mandible. There we divide this incision into two sides. One goes in the lingual side and second goes to the buccal side, and this forms an inverted Y-shaped incision. Okay. After this incision is further deepened over the medial aspect of the ramus, and then we retract the tissues. Fourth step is we divide the temporalis muscle and the medial pterygoid muscle, which is inserting into the ramus of the mandible. We divide that and we then locate the inferior alveolar nerve at the medial aspect of the mandible, ramus of the mandible. Then after locating the inferior alveolar nerve, so in this diagram I'll just give you a gist about this diagram. This muscle is the medial pterygoid muscle. This muscle is the temporalis muscle. This one is the buccinator. This is the long buccal nerve. Okay. This one is the inferior alveolar nerve, and this one right over here is the lingual nerve. We tie two black linen threads one along the proximal part and one along the distal part. The entire length of the inferior alveolar nerve is detected and it is exposed. So after tying these two knots at the proximal end and the distal end, This proximal knot is carried as high up as possible and it is knotted. The distal knot is applied a little lower. The nerve then is divided between these two knots. This proximal knot is then cut short and that end of the nerve is retracted upwards and it can be cauterized later on. The distal end, that is the distal knot, is kept along and it is secured with an hemostat. Then a second incision is made along the buccal aspect in the buccal sulcus near the premolars, where we locate the mental nerve and the mental foramen. Now, as I told you, the second incision is made along the buccal sulcus near the premolar region. Okay. So in this we expose the mental foramen region and the nerve, that is the mental nerve, is exposed. The nerve is then teased out of the foramen. It is grasped with two hemostats and then it is divided between them. Now the distal end is wound around and avulsed. Thereby we remove all the peripheral branches of this nerve. Afterwards we go back to the first incision which we have made near the pterygomandibular raphe. This one. This distal end in the first incision is then wound around and very slowly it is avulsed out till the time the entire nerve, that is the entire length of the nerve in the canal, is avulsed. After that, the mental foramen, that is this one, this mental foramen is then obliterated with titanium mesh or titanium screw or bone wax, sterile gold foil or wooden sticks or silicone plugs. Okay. Then toileting of the wound is done, that is it is cleaned with saline. Hemostasis is achieved and the wound is then closed with absorbable sutures, and if dentition is present then interrupted sutures can also be achieved over the first and the second incision. So both the incisions are then closed. Now why is this mental foramen obliterated with all these things is that after neurectomy the affected nerve has a tendency to regenerate, causing recurrence of neuralgic pain. So to prevent this recurrence, a considerable section of the nerve, at least 4 cm, should be excised. When the nerve happens to occupy a bony canal, the canal should be plugged tightly with all these things. And then the material is snugly fit into the foramen. The restral nerve, that is the remnant of the nerve, may also be cauterized. So this was all about the Jinwala's technique of peripheral neurectomy, basically inferior alveolar nerve neurectomy. The advantage of this technique is that it has long-lasting pain relief with fast recovery, and secondly, it has minimal post-operative complications. But we should make sure that there should be repeated follow-ups and even physiotherapy should be recommended for effective outcome of this procedure. Now this surgery exposes the patient to operative complications, that is the complication of a permanent or residual facial numbness, and there can be changes in feeling in the oral facial region also, which may interfere with speaking, chewing, and other social interactions. Even apparently minor changes can be significantly seen, affecting the patient's quality of life. So yeah, this was all about the Jinwala's technique of inferior alveolar neurectomy. Put in the comment section below what all videos you want to watch and on which topics. I'm open with all suggestions. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel Photographic Memory. I will come up with more videos. Till then, take care.